I mean, these were some interesting questions. I'll put it like that. All right.
Oh, no comment from Roya. They were definitely questions.
Fair. I'm sure we'll find out eventually. Probably, maybe. Theoretically.
We'll see.
Either we will or we won't. Let's see. I'm wondering how much time we have between combats. I will be sure to ask. I believe we got like drinks earlier that had effects that lasted until our next long rest. Or it might have been an hour, I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure Nurse had one on intelligence saves.
I don't
to give like advantage.
I
do remember though that, I mean it's on the sheet at least, that he's got 2 temporary hit points, so I don't know. We'll see.
Is he back?
Yes.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Ah, okay, awesome. You guys went super quiet, and I noticed. I think I was disconnected.
That would do it.
All right then, and we are ready to begin. Unless you guys did want to do any of that exploratory, random talk to people and/or pick a fight.
I think I'll probably do some exploring around the arena in between fights. I did have a question, like, if we had like any estimation on like how much time there would be between our fights.
You were not given an exact time. You're just told a brief intermission.
Brief intermission. Okay. So probably like 10 minutes or something. Not like 4 hours.
I mean, you'll have to find out.
We'll see. Just gonna take a long rest. Did you have anything?
Nope. I'm ready. Let's go.
All right.
Then we begin. As you guys are approached, you're asked if there are any specific. How would you like to be introduced? Is what you realize the announcer is asking you.
I kind of look over to Roya in a way of, well, do you want to give your real name? Or are you going to give your real name? Or are we creating up some new ones?
She thinks about it for a while. Does she want to give her real name?
Can I swap out some spells prepared right now, or probably not?
This is still technically your first day.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is essentially like end of day entertainment.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah, Roya doesn't respond. She doesn't give a name.
Let me see. Let me roll for Neris to see what he does. What his response is. I think with that roll, because I mean, we gotta have some way to introduce us. He's gonna. I'll lean into Roya and ask this in a hushed voice between. Right before giving him the full answer. How does Roy and Nira sound?
That sounds awful, but go for it.
All right. Neris points at himself and says, kind of calls himself Roy, and then points at Roya and says Nira. So.
To roll something quick, and he gives you guys the most deadpan looks. Like, that's it. That's the best you guys got for this. Anything?
I guess we should have spent more time thinking of a name, duo name, or something like that.
Roya just shrugs her shoulders and rolls her eyes. Let's just.
And you guys can just walk past him if you like. This is you're essentially crowds waiting.
Yeah, just shrug.
Let's go.
Think of something for the next round, maybe. Yeah. Probably should have thought of something.
All right, and you hear thaumaturgy. You identify this is likely thaumaturgy spell that he's using as his voice begins to boom as he gives the usual spiel of, ladies, gentlemen, everyone here, excited for our latest challenge. These new faces enter our humble underground arena.
Humble.
And he just gives you a quick look, says, "From parts unknown come these two new challengers. Nira, Roya, the dramatic duo."
No, I said
And
Roy and
there
Nira.
is-
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, no, he completely switched it off. He pointed to the wrong person when he said the name and everything.
Close enough.
No, but did he actually say Roya?
Yeah.
Big Butter. No, that's fair.
Here's another thing. He only pointed to her when he said that, and then he points to you and says, "And the far-traveled tinkerer." And you hear him say your name. You didn't give him that. Neither of you did.
Wait, Neris? Like he says
Yeah.
Neris?
The actual full-on first.
When he did Roya, he like Neris facepalm, but when he got like Neris correct as well, it's like, wait, what? But probably not enough time to react.
Oh, you do. You can definitely give him that weird wide eye, but you essentially look back at him, and you notice that his eyes are glowing slightly an odd purplish, then shifting to green.
We'll deal with that later, I guess. Purple shifting to green. Interesting. This guy knows our use some true name magic to get our actual names or something. Sorry.
All right. Well, and as you're introduced, he says, "Here to take on the 5 grueling beast challenge. As you all know, survival of this fittest of mountains to climb. The first obstacle up here, and on the other side of the door, I wasn't sure if I showed you the picture before, but essentially the massive shark, essentially like a land shark with no fins and just bust through things the size of, well, a buffalo, but with mashing shark face and teeth, and it stares down at you guys. And I'm gonna need y'all to roll me some initiative.
All right. Is this like grizzly bear or black bear sized, or is it like
Buffalo sized?
Buffalo size, even better.
Yeah, buffalo sized. Yeah, this baby is big. He's essentially just got the head of it looks like they took the body head of a shark and just like gave it legs instead of the fins and the tail.
All right.
Oh.
Nice. I think
15 for my initiative.
I actually also rolled a 15.
So 16 and a 15 or 15 and a 15?
15 and a 15. Roll off
4.
to see who goes first. I got a +4 as well.
Alright, again.
It's rollies, baby. One more time.
I rolled a 4, and that's just a flat 4 for that one. I assume we're just
7.
whoever rolls higher.
7. So you're first.
Right first, then Neris, and then Shark Boy? Jawbones?
The shark, the unknown creature, he rolls very low. So you guys are going first.
Oh, nice.
Perfect. So, bonus action, I'm going to mark it with my Slayer's Prey. And then F it, I'm going to try and shoot it with my arrow, because why not?
Yeah, go for it.
try sharpshooter, because why not? You know what? That's why not. 13!
And you see it, and then it just falls off its hide. This thing looks tough. But it looks like it physically reacted to that hit, but just not enough to get it there to pierce that hide.
Gross.
Hmm.
Okay,
Cool.
that's my turn.
All right. Let's see. How far away is it now? At this point, is this? I guess how big is the ring? I should ask. Probably. Or like,
The ring you're currently in seems to be a 45 circular, actually more ovalish. So one end where you guys started, the other end was the other one. So
okay.
a full 45 feet from one to the other, and more than likely, maybe could be easy 35 feet across.
Okay. Let's do a test run before I do anything with that. I will fire a shot from my gun, pistol. That is a unnatural 20 to hit.
You sputtered out for that one part. You say natural 20 or unnatural 20?
Unnatural. I do think I have to get within 30 feet though, so I approach a bit.
Right. So
Fire.
you're approaching. Okay, this thing there.
Not within
You only need about to hit 30 feet. You'd only need 10 feet of movement forward, and then you're in range.
Yeah.
Okay. Step there. Aim and fire, and roll that damage.
Roll that damage. Oh, that's 9 points of piercing damage. You good?
All
Okay.
right.
Who?
Yeah, no, just 9 points, and you hear it. This shot very much impacts, and it starts to bleed, and you notice this blood. It bleeds.
It was what? Sorry, kind of broke up there. Sorry.
The blood this thing is dripping is green.
Green. Interesting. Out of curiosity, I think what I'm going to do is, could I use my bonus action to just, I guess, I don't know if it would be any type of check, but he's going to kind of start wondering about whether, this is, some mutation, or whether this is just normal for animals from here, or just not certain on what's going on because he just got here, and just probably forget to move back and just stay the 10 feet closer. Probably making him a target. Would I roll anything like a nature check or something, medicine or something? I don't know.
You can you can try a nature if you'd like, or a medicine. Both would be at disadvantage.
Okay, I'll do a nature at disadvantage. That's actually a 15.
15 with this. Nothing you can think of that it's had an effect like this before. You know, some creatures might have a deeper shade or color, but nothing
But not
that's ever been this
green.
far off the spectrum. It's usually a variation of blue. You've heard of some even going black, dark purple, or perhaps
You know,
even
the
lighter
traditional
shades of
red.
red. Yeah, the traditional,
Yeah.
but nothing's ever green like this.
Yeah. So yeah, Neris is very intrigued by that. And obviously not solving anything in one round of combat, but especially considering, the first time encountering this from a distance. But no, he is very very curious about this. Or interested, I'll say. And yeah, I think that's his turn. Scratched his chin.
Sorry, this took me way longer to set up than I would have liked, but now that I know everything he can do and he can't do, because making sure I wasn't giving you guys the wrong opponent. But yeah, no, this guy, and you see him was originally looking at Roya first until he got, shot with something that hurts. He turned his head to Neris, and you see him almost... At first, you're not sure if he's going to move at all, as he just starts... It almost looks like he's shaking for a bit, until you realize the more he starts shaking, the lower he gets to the ground. And you think he's just not going to do anything for a bit, because it lasts maybe 2-3 seconds before you essentially see him dart off, aiming straight at you. And he does. This speed is not something you are ready for, as it dashes towards you, and I'm going to need you to make me a quick strength saving throw, as this thing's essentially just about to ram into you.
Oh, a strength saving throw. That's not good.
Oh, no,
3 minus 1, 2. You sure about that?
So here's the thing. This isn't a damaging attack. Problem is, when it hits, you'd think you'd be like knocked over or like slammed like across or essentially pushed away. It pounces and you're immediately slammed into the ground. And you are considered pinned for the time being. You're essentially grappled. And because he has you like this, he can use a quick little bonus, essentially, to take an extra attack with you grappled, which will be at advantage. If you'd have missed, then he would have been very close to you guys and have done nothing.
Yeah, that's not good to fail.
Yeah, no, it's an all or nothing kind of thing.
Yeah. Which is a cool mechanic. Just less so when it's used on you.
Oh, shit. Yeah, no. This thing tries to go down at you, but you are quick. And despite this thing's weight and itself being on you, because it's essentially using its like 2 hind legs and body weight to keep you pinned, you were able to bob and weave and block this thing's giant shark mouth coming at you. It rolled a 2 and a 3.
Ooh,
so
nice.
it is a miss. Oh, thank God it was, because if this thing gets a hold of you, it doesn't let go easy. That is its turn. Roya, we're back to you.
So it does have me pinned, though, right? So
you are currently grappled. Yeah, pinned down, grappled. So you're both grappled and prone, which is kind of like the combined thing of, so I call it pinned.
All right. That is good to know.
fine.
But it's also not paying any attention to you, Roya, so what do you want to do? You can just like literally take a step back and wait.
I sure can. Tempted. No, I'm gonna use my hunter sense. If I can learn its immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities. That's what that word is.
You can. You take a quick second to look it up and down, looking for the telltale signs of what would work, what wouldn't, and what would really make it hurt.
Make it hurt. Cool.
And with that, you're able to quickly discern this thing's not specifically built to take on anything or survive in any individual place. It just seems sturdily made, seems like well made, but not made with anything specific in mind. So while it has no immunities or vulnerabilities, so it seems like they try to keep this thing as plain as it is when it was made. No advantages to had or disadvantages.
Perfect. Okay. I'm just gonna try and shoot it again with my arrow. Why not?
Cool. You're currently, if I remember, you didn't space around, so you're currently next to it. So they want to take like a step back, or
I think Neris did go up a bit, or I guess it might have not.
Right. No.
I
know it. No, I forgot about that. Yeah. No, you went up 10 feet, so you saw this happen in front of you. He got his ass knocked down and pinned.
It was impressive.
I assume like slid towards you a little bit, probably not the full 10 feet.
No, the way this one works is you think it's about to ram into you, except it does a horse just like, it looks like it's about to just jump kick, but it just slams you down.
Slams you down, yeah.
Well then.
Get suplexed by a shark.
Okay, Neris, you're fine. And she's gonna launch an arrow at it again. Still sharpshooter. Let's
cool,
try it.
dude.
Why not?
Come on, when it hits
Much
good.
better. That's a 21.
Ooh.
21 after the -5.
After the -5.
Oh, you hit it. You hit it good. Right wherever you like to pierce that arrow, it hits home.
Probably gonna do whatever one of the shoulders where it's holding Neris down with.
All right, you hear it, and it is very much aware of you now, but it's still focusing in on Neris. What's the total damage?
21.
21. So this thing, it is angry, and while it does like peek up to you a little bit, it seems to transfer all of that anger it has to just being shot, and it just looks down at you, Neris, because it's. So while it is like noted that something else is hurting it painfully, it also remembers this is who I'm dealing with right now.
A bird in the hand, 2 in the bush, or 1 in the bush. Fair, but not great.
Yeah, no, this one oddly tactical in the sense that 1 by 1, not divided.
Well, better for me. It means I could just focus my fire on it. That's my turn.
Fair. No, just
Neris, you are pinned under this thing. It's bleeding a little bit more. Green blood, and it's starting to get a little bit on you. And you, staring up at that toothy maw that looks like it's getting ready to rear back and do another chomp. What you gonna do?
What you gonna do? Hey, what you gonna do? Man, I felt like I was blanking on something. Not on the main thing though. Neris, are his arms still free, or are they like both pinned down? Does he have like one free?
No, he essentially has you pinned, so you're prone and on the ground, grappled. So your hands, feet still free. It's just you're not moving anywhere until you can either break this hold and then get up off the ground.
So I'm gonna say Neris reaches into his coat and pulls out this like oblong, almost sort of like a sphere sort of thing, like with a lot of ridges and stuff. But he kind of actually like tosses it like gently to, not gently, but like he tosses it like not directly towards Roya, but like parallel to Roya. And it actually like rolls for a moment and then like bounces up onto the legs, and like it kind of bends over and manipulates a little bit. He's using Create Eldritch Cannon. And I'm gonna create a Force Ballista.
Nice. For a second I thought you were gonna make like the little hamster just pop out to like, and he's now a cannon.
This is now
he's my mini transformer.
Robots in disguise. I mean, that definitely could be a way of doing it. I mean, isn't like the flagship one like a chicken Eldritch Cannon? I'm sorry, tangent.
I mean, like
So
if
yeah,
you're
no,
going for a
it is-
flamethrower, just make it look like a phoenix and just grab it like you did in... No, actually, no, you haven't seen the movie. Just watch
No,
Puss in Boots,
I
it'll
know.
be great.
I have seen that clip. No, but this thing, it's gonna move a bit back from this land shark, and bonus action, gonna make a ranged attack. It's a ranged spell attack, which I believe is the same as my. Yeah, no, it's still that. Let's see. Does a 15 hit? We're having a lot of 15s tonight.
15 does, in fact, hit.
Ooh, nice. That's 2d8 force damage, and the target is pushed 5 feet away from the cannon. Theoretically off of Neris, but I think that depends on the ability. And that's 10 force damage, by the way.
Okay, 10 force damage, and gotta make a quick thing. Oh yeah, no, you feel the impact, and it feels like you're getting lifted up for a second until you feel the pressure somehow increase on your both the hands on your chest and the two legs at the back. This thing seems to somehow sturdied itself. You're not entirely sure how, because you know that should have, blown it back a bit. You've done it before. This thing stayed put.
That did not work out. Or Neris, literally thinks that did not work how I hoped it would. Let's see. It is looking bloodied, though, right? Oh, it was shot before, but how does it look?
From what you can see, it is dripping blood, and it certainly looks hurt.
All right. He's gonna try then. I think with the same hand, he's gonna just kind of. He's gonna. I guess it would probably just be better to shoot it. No, I'll still try. I'll just do the firebolt in its face.
Okay, that'd be at a disadvantage, but it was bonus action, summon, and use the cannon, and then this, right?
Yeah, because I don't have any melee. Well, I guess I got a dagger, but I feel like I still want to try and do this because it's got more damage capability. Actually, probably best to shoot it. I'm just gonna shoot it. Well, actually, no. I think it would be reloaded at this point. So yeah, I'll shoot it.
All right, go for it.
And you said disadvantage?
It'd be at disadvantage if it's close.
That's a 15, and then 7. So 7 plus 6, 13.
That misses, unfortunately.
Darn.
So while you try and get your arm to thing, and you're just not able to get a clear shot, it just seems to just graze it.
Like nicks it in the ear or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, is that it for Neris?
Yeah, I think that is.
All right, this thing is angry, and from Roya's point of view, it looks hurt. From yours, it also looks hurt and is dripping some blood on you. And it seems to be single-minded in its mission to finish one problem before starting the next one. So it is going to, again, lean back and try and take a big old chomp out of you.
All right. Let's see how this goes. Wouldn't my spell attack bonus be higher since I've got...
That's that's less than good. So...
Oh, I see, sorry. That's good, huh?
Yeah, I had to double check something, and unfortunately, it rolled a 14 and a natural 20.
Fair. What's the bonus with the natural 20 out of curiosity? Because it's probably going to be above my where I could get with shield. What is the... I mean, if it's above 22, then I cannot shield it, and probably not even with the net, since it has the nat 20.
Yeah. No, the nat 20 usually goes past that, but it would have been a 24. This thing only has like a +4 to, when it hits.
Yeah. Well, good news. We got time between rounds.
So here's the thing. When it normally attacks, it just does a thing. When it attacks a grappled creature, it's got this thing called Render, where it does a bite attack, and then... You ever seen a dog with a chew toy? Those big Rottweilers just go back and forth?
Can it grab me by my arm, my metal arm? Because I feel like that would be especially funny. And could it come off with the attack? I also feel like that'd be funny.
I mean, if you want to be like... If you want to be disarmed for a bit until you either find and or build a new one.
Well, would it destroy the arm, or would it... Okay, yeah, probably destroy the arm.
It would depend on the damage, and normally when this happens, it's pretty bad. And this is a crit. And that's why, I just had to double check, if there's any way he could not... No, this happens every time he attacks something that's grappled. Which you unfortunately are.
Yeah, let's just probably don't, especially considering you got a whole bunch of other fights and we're about to go on an adventure. Probably don't want to lose the arm. Well, I don't want to lose my other arm either. But let's just do normal fights, I guess. I don't know.
So, normal is a d8 for the bite. And when he renders and reams, he does an additional 3d6 on top of that.
Oh, and then a nat 20 and...
Nat 20 is going to double that.
Survive.
So I'm hoping... Let's see what happens.
Well, I guess we'll find out what my new character likes. Or what my new character's like soon. We'll see. We'll see. I got enough ideas that I can make it work, but we'll see. I mean, I'm at max health, so at least there's that.
And you have the 2 temporary hit points.
2 whole temporary hit points.
Woo!
I mean, maybe he'll roll the minimum damage. And that's just... It'll just be 8 damage. Which, yeah, we'll see. I'm just imagining Neris ragdolling, trying to communicate with Roya. I thought you said this would be relaxing.
I'm relaxed.
Unfortunately, yeah, I don't know if you've seen like that the original mask when the character, when the dog puts it on, and just bites the dude and just hurls him back and forth.
I very much see what you're describing, like just the like.
So here's the thing: when it does do this, it
Awesome.
ends the pinned, prone slash
Well, that's good.
prone condition. You are gonna take 28 points of damage.
Oh,
Still alive.
no. That's not great. 28, you said?
Yeah, and so here's the thing. Depending on what I roll for this next part, determines where most of that was centered. So, because when it does,
sorry.
maybe, or you're just gonna have to like either lay off a specific appendage. Because the way he does this is he grabs a specific, either torso or a leg or a leg. If this had done enough to kill you, it would have just gone for the head, but it didn't. So it's gonna go for one of your limbs. So I'm gonna roll a d4. And actually, no, I'm gonna make it a d6 and just
Left
anything
leg
but
and
your
right
head.
arm. Left leg and right arm are the mechanical ones, so just for reference.
So it's the left leg that takes that 28 points of damage.
Oh boy. It's probably disabled, but at least that's the mechanical one.
You're probably gonna have to work on it for a bit. Good news though is you are no longer pinned, grappled. You are just right next to this thing. Because after essentially reins you up for a bit, it essentially just let you go, and then essentially looks like it's getting ready for another one.
Oh boy. Yeah, it's looking to finish me off.
Yeah, but now that you're looking at it, and this thing, it's looking you couldn't get a better look at it because you were pinned under it. It's very hurt. It's very much wobbling, and it looks like it's on its last legs, but it is still raring to go.
All right.
Roya, you are up next.
Roya looks a little concerned. I should heal. No.
Skill it.
Whatever you say. I am going to bonus action cast Hail of Thorns.
Don't kill me in the process.
Get out of the way.
I am still within 5 feet. I am prone.
You're
And one of my legs is disabled.
You're fine. You're okay. You can make a dex saving throw, right?
Well,
That's
it's
what
been.
you do.
Yeah, no, I'm at
It's
5
been
hit
real.
points. I'm at 5 hit points. If I have to take half the
Casualty of the war. It's all fine.
Yeah,
You're
I mean,
okay.
what's the? It's disadvantage if you're prone, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, you're fine. You're okay with dex, right? You're good with dex. I have to try.
I mean, I am. Yeah, okay, that's actually 2 pretty good rolls. 16.
Well, I mean, I have to try and hit it first. So we're gonna try and hit it first.
That too. Just don't hit me. You're gonna roll in that one and hit me instead.
No. That is a 21 to hit.
Oh, thank God.
That does it.
Perfect. 12 damage plus the hail of thorns. I could talk today. Good lord.
I swear I know how to talk. I'm not making words up.
Plus an additional 8 piercing. So 20 damage total. Oh, if it has to do a dexterity saving throw.
$19.
Yeah, that passes. It's only 16 damage.
Only
I have to
16.
take half of that if I succeed.
Yeah, but it's
I am down.
no,
No, I'm down.
not 16. It's only half of the Hail of Thorns damage.
Yeah, 16. Half of 16 is 8, and I'm
No,
down.
yeah, I didn't roll a 16. 16 is total with my original attack.
Okay. What
Yes,
was
you were not.
half of the Hail of
It
Thorns
was
then?
only 7, so 3.
Okay. I would be down if I didn't have those temporary hit points.
See, you're fine. Roy, I knew you were fine. You're fine.
Neris is just like, leg is mashed up and just like has like a half dozen thorns in his side, and you're just like, yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, you're okay. That's
And this
okay.
thing roars out and growls, and just with this brambled thorn, essentially just gets knocked over to the side. Big old thing starts bleeding even more, and hear its final whimpers and gurgles as this thing hit it right when you imagine would be the throat. You've heard this sound before. And you just see this small pool of green liquid start pooling behind it and then around it. And the crowd gives off a massive cheer.
Neris, I think, was sitting up, and now he's just fallen like down limp, and it's like breathing heavily. It's like, this is not relieving my stress.
What are you talking about? This was great. She's waving towards the crowd, basking in the attention.
So, what's the
be honest.
perception on both of you, just real quick?
Passive?
Passive?
15.
13 for passive. But Siler, real quick, how many people laughed when Neris was getting thrown around?
Roya might have been one of them.
Might have been a good.
Fight, but it was
it'd be hard for you to figure out that exact number looking around the crowd. This place is pretty packed. Some people you heard going the oohs, ahs, and other people was going like ah, ah, ah. It's just the old uproarious laughter, like rookies.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there,
But yeah, no, you guys noticed, and it almost didn't register for you, Neris. But you, Roya, immediately take notice that the bramblethorn and everything that just hooked this thing, essentially pinning it to the ground and almost like covering it, it starts almost growing. You've seen it before, like this magic that just spawns plant growth and immediate this thorned veil that pierces your prey whenever you strike, but it's still going. It usually, does a one quick boom growth and it stops after it's finished its work. It's still slowly growing, and underneath it you see you could almost moss, green patched over the creature's skin itself. It seems to be mossing over slowly.
Neris would take note of that.
Swear you're starting to see small, very small, but very eagerly glowing grass, plants, possible budding flowers just start growing over this creature.
Interesting.
And I'm assuming I haven't heard or seen any of this before in my travels.
Never. This is things usually die, and you can either carve it up and make some good eating out of them if you want, or leave it for another creature to do the same.
Should look at it curiously for a second.
I mean, we are in an arena. Neris just says from the ground. We probably shouldn't start butchering their animals.
I wouldn't want to eat that thing anyways.
I saw the look.
All right. As you're ushered out of the... Yes, but as you're like shown the exit to the arena where you can go and wait, catch your breath if you'd like, you're told that you'll be granted a half hour before the next match as another contestants about to take their own challenge of this. You can see it kind of swaps back and forth with teams depending on if they make it or if they don't. But you are essentially given a warning that your next opponent is something else, but if you do survive that one, there'll be 3 of those bastards waiting for you on the 3rd round.
3 of the shark things?
Yep.
Have fun.
Oh, perfect.
This is the first level.
Yeah.
I was definitely thinking this is way too easy for us.
There's just death glares, Roya. Like full on, like bitch face, just like staring, like.
Right. Once you do enter like the little gathering room, you are given a decent little round of applause. Seems to be the hazing of the newcomers for this kind of thing. And you are congratulating for felling your first beast of the island. And one of them even actually comes up and hands you, Neris, an odd-looking vial. Seems to have some moss growing around it. This is... You thought he was giving you a stick at first until you see that there's there's like a cork. This is a vial made out of wood.
Vial made of wood. Is this sanitary? But thank you.
Do you ask?
I think he says that, kind of waits just a quick beat, and then does say thank you after that. I appreciate it. I assume this is going to help with just kind of looking at his tattered pants leg.
And you notice the person who gave it to you is one of those people. You notice that is likely one of the natives of the island. They have this strange green-like vein across the underside of their neck and the side of their chin. And they're in that, like, very much like a... Everything here on them doesn't look... There's no metal on them at all. There's just bits of stone where you think metal would be on plating, or thick wool patches and odd kind of materials, but all that seems to be exquisitely woven, well packed, tight, and some pieces of it even give off an eerie little glow to them, along with the shiny ass weapons you saw them that they seem to be holstering.
All right. I'm gonna find somewhere to sit down and put the pieces of my leg. And I'm gonna... I think Neris will just drink it and see what it does. Normally he's not the type of person to find out.
Before you do drink it, you do see the same person who just mimes the... like he's holding it, and he just says... He seems to be miming bites. He's not entirely sure why.
Like biting?
He seems to be, like biting. You hear him like the clicking of his teeth, as he just seems to just mime biting something.
All right. Not really certain on whether to pull the cork out or leave it in. I guess pull the cork out and just try biting into this stick. Not really sure what to do with this. Neris is just gonna try and go for it.
Oh, all right. And you see you pull out the cork, and then are you like biting at the top or the bottom, or how are you doing about this?
The top down.
And you bite, and at first you think, this is... Why am I even doing this? I'm about to bite into what looks and feels like wood, from as best you can tell.
Get a splinter on my tongue and take those last 2 points of damage.
Possibly. And then as soon as you bite down, and you feel like it just cracks. Almost like a carrot. You could have sworn some kind of vegetable or something. But as soon as you bite, you chew, and it just almost seems to just dissolve. It's odd. Barely had to chew at all. And as you try for one more bite, the same thing keeps happening. Like there's that initial crunch before it's just gone.
Interesting.
Takes you maybe 3 to 4 bites before the entire thing is gone. And I'm going to need you to roll me 4d6.
46. All right. 46 of damage. Nice. Sorry, I'm teasing.
You took poison from a stranger, my friend. Hope that next character is smarter.
Yeah, hopefully. Let's see, that's 12, 14 points of whatever this is.
All right. And you are healed for 14 points, and you gain 6 temporary hit points.
Oh.
You're not entirely sure what this was, but this seemed to have the feel of a healing potion, but then it seems to have a little extra on there. Roughly half of what you heal, you gain temporary as well. For this, whatever this kind of potion was.
Interesting. Neat. But yeah, that is interesting. He is
Yeah, and you did notice that the flavor, you knew it before if you tasted a health potion. That was very much what it felt like, but not as processed as what you feel like. You felt like they might have had a flavor at some point, but
like
you just couldn't.
Natural, like
something like
these sort of like orange.
You want to say like a fruit or some kind of, I don't know, unknown vegetable, but nothing comes to mind. And it's like you want to say a flavor, but then it's just not there.
Interesting. Yeah, Neris, does he still see this person that gave this to him, or?
Yeah, no, you see him walking, and he's headed back, and he seems to be talking to one of the shop owners. You can see this one seems to be one of the natives of the island, because their shop seems to be one of only 2 that is, in fact, run by one of the island natives that you've essentially seen.
All right. Neris will approach and try and thank him for giving him that, though I give Roya been on Neris for a bit. If you want to do something first, that is all good.
Roya, is there anything you'd like to do? As you just saw this person, after giving you a round of applause, handed Ness this odd-looking wooden vial of something, and then mine for him to eat it, which he then and looks like he's feeling better.
I ate a stick.
And you got better. Amazing. Who needs... never mind. And she will actually follow Neris, because she's also interested in this strange... whatever it was that this man gave Neris.
Side note, the conjured I'm forgetting on the name, the turret that he summoned, he did pick up as he was leaving, and he is holding with him, but it's still active for the rest of the hour. Still on
that's good. Yeah, and
also,
you'll be able to get him for the next one.
Just hobbling over still, need to fix my leg. Can I cast mending to at least be able to use it like a
to repair this? Yeah, no. To traditionally just get it back into functioning order. You've healed the damage of being the damage was supposed to be done to your leg's operation, but you yourself also felt like you were getting ragdolled, so a lot of that damage.
Yeah, shoulder, arms, head.
But you're still, you still have those few points left, so you need to rest up if you wanted to go full back, but you can mend the leg so you're no longer limping, because you had to drag that thing out of there.
Yeah, I will start casting mending while we're initiating this conversation.
All right. You see them both there, having a quick discussion, and you can hear they're speaking a language neither of you know.
Excuse me, if you've got a moment.
And you see them both turn around. The one who gave you the thing smiled, and the shopkeep seems to be just as happy, saying, "Oh, welcome, new arrivals. Come see my wares. Beautiful things from my village. What would you like? What do you need? Do you wish to trade?"
Well, to start, I want to thank you for sharing that with me. I had a bit of a rough time out there, as you could probably tell. Saying this to want to give me the stick.
Yes. My brother was telling me you survived one of the land jaws.
Landjaws. That seems very much like an apt name for them. Hell of a bite. That's... Yeah. I was curious on what that was that you gave me. It seemed very potent.
Yes. He told me of the, you call it a potion. We don't make it as a raw. We soak one of the branches as well as the combination of powders before we synthesize. You seem to do it in a liquid stew that you drink.
I guess that's a way of putting it. I hadn't heard of this method, and I goes against what I had learned, and I was just curious on how you learned to do it that way. And well, I don't think we have enough time for any detailed lecture, and I'm sure you want someone to purchase your wares. So it seems like there's plenty of people here for that. But
it is currently just you. But no, he says I have some for sale before I must return to gather more. But the process can only be taught by the main healers or the chieftain. Not impossible to teach outsider if they wish, but it needs to be earned, not bought.
No, I understand. Thank you for your honesty, though. I will ask, what do you have for sale here?
Many things. What are you in need of?
I mean, I guess in general, I probably could use something for healing, but maybe not quite at the moment, because I'm fairly certain we'll be fighting more of those shortly. But I think I'll hold
you
off.
You require a weapon or better protection, or perhaps another one of the healing your compatriots, and he points to the others, call them healing sticks.
Sticks, alright. I guess for the moment I'm curious on what you might have that might help with my defense, to help protect me. Perhaps a shield of some kind?
If you require a physical, and he takes out an actual shield, and it seems the size of a buckler, it seems roughly bigger than a dinner plate. One simple protection that will not hinder your movements, but will provide the assistance needed, enhanced. And you see when he essentially arms it himself, and he gives it a small tap on the underside, like behind it, and it expands to triple its size. The stones that seem to be like swirling around in a spiral, essentially, almost, you can tell this almost looks like a kind of a gravity or magnet effect, because the stones essentially float out. That's what makes it look bigger, but it's still just a small plate shield, but it has stones, essentially making a quick swirling little spiral pattern around it. This helps.
They kind of fan out and expand to give more defense.
Essentially, yeah. And he tells you this helps with not, and he just mimics physical, but, and he just makes the simply just pretends to shoot an arrow from range. This helps.
Interesting.
If you desire one to protect against that, and he brings out an actual shield. This one seems to be carved out of wood and plated with a few stones, and you think maybe scales. Not entirely sure what that could be. They're all these pieces are well, obviously handcrafted, but well decorated, well made, looks sturdy. Nothing he's shown you yet has had the same glow as the weapons you've seen on some of the other people here, like his brother or the other fighters with him.
Interesting. Theoretically saving the good stuff for others. Or people
that or know how to ask it by name. You just he's barely just going through, but he does essentially give you a basic understanding that he has, for the most part, basic stuff, unless you need something more specific or enhanced. That usually takes time to make and normally requires materials.
Okay. So, may I ask, like, with the two that he showed, it seemed like the first one, like, interfered less with, like, your movement? Or, I guess I was... Do you have,
the shield, essentially,
sure,
it's a +2 shield like normally, but it doesn't occupy your hand.
Okay.
And it gives, essentially, disadvantage to anyone who's going for ranged.
Nice.
But here's the thing, there's a counter. It's on 12, and for every time it does block a shot, essentially with this, that counter goes down. So the stones that are on the shield, you need to essentially get more of them, either buy them or learn how to make them. But the bonus only applies as long as the stones are there. Once it's down to half,
it's just
then
normal.
It's no longer, and it's no longer disadvantage. You now only just get a bump in AC. Once it's down to 4, it just acts as a normal shield, and once they're all gone, it's just a little buckler. It's not going to really do much.
Okay. Like the AC bonus goes away as well?
Yeah, no, the AC bonus, but the one I'm talking about is ranged. The shield itself is still a shield and give you the normal 2, but the enhanced bonus for the AC is for anything ranged.
Okay.
When it has the full 12 stones, it's disadvantage until 6 of them are destroyed.
And at 6, it's the +2 to AC on top of something else, or is it just the +2 to AC?
Yeah.
Like being a shield?
It's essentially the DC for this is your armor class. If the damage is more than your armor class, the stone is shattered. If it's not, then it just absorbs the damage.
Okay.
So if you get it with something hit hard, then it's going to shatter the stone, but
if it's less than that, it won't.
Yeah.
Okay. So it has to like meet the armor class or to break this stone?
Yeah, no. The damage of whatever the attack was needs to be greater than your armor class in order to destroy one of the stones that it hits when it's...
Okay. It's the damage. I see. And there was the other shield as well that he mentioned. Did you have...
That one seems to be a larger shield, well made. It's essentially a half tower shield. This one does give you, depending on if you choose to use it like this, you can essentially make it like a small little ram shard. This one gives you essentially the 3/4 cover when you essentially put it in front of you like a stationary thing. But you're kind of still when you have it on. Essentially,
yeah. To use that, you can't move around.
But you can essentially make yourself like +5 AC, and just duck behind it and shoot from there, from like some very nice cover.
Okay. Nearest will kind of go, and may I ask about the prices for these what those would be?
These for these two, and specifically because you're asking for more defense, he also showed you some robes and things that would essentially count as leather armor. But each of them just had a few tricks to them, but they're more or less basic stuff with just a quick +1 to them.
Okay. Yeah,
but as for prices, he asks if you're willing to trade or if you're going to use the bartering gold, which is what they call normal gold.
I see. Would there be anything in particular that you're interested in trading? I admit that I'm fairly low on what I have because I just arrived in port recently. I won't say it's today, but I'll say recently.
Specific materials that can be gathered and hunted for in the island we can use, or the gold that we use to barter with your people.
I think then I would be more available to barter with gold then.
All right. For the Shield of Stones, this one will be 250 gold. For the tower, would only be 150. For the armor enhanced, it would be 120.
120, okay. Did we get any gold from that first round at this point?
No, this is an all or nothing 5 rounds, and you essentially get the 400 to be split, so it'd be roughly 200 for each of you. That's after 5 rounds.
So
it's essentially 20 gold to enter, and it's essentially multiplied by 10 if you survive all rounds.
Yes.
You drop out any time or try and get all the way.
I have not enough gold yet to be able to, because I'm interested in this Shield of Stones that you have. And unfortunately I do not have enough of the bartering gold to pay you with yet, but and I don't know if this is a concept we made aware to you quite yet, but there is a concept called a loan with my people that I'm wondering if you would be open to trying. I have... Sorry.
Could you explain it?
Yes, I have... Well, there's other ways to explain it, but I'll just try and keep it direct in the example that I wish to use. There is this cloak that I have, and I'm going to show him this my cloak of many fashions that I have, and it has magical properties. See, and I'm going to change it from like the brown trench coat design to like the black cloak design that I have, and I think I've got a blue one as well, so I'll like change it between a couple. I have this, and I was wondering whether you would be interested in. I can lend this to you, and I could use the shield. And when I win the tournament or the fights that we're in, I can bring this. I can give you the gold that you were looking for, and then I could take that back, maybe even with a little bit extra, depending on what you are open to.
There is a look of surprise on Ro's face when he says when they'll win.
He's optimistic and he's not committing to anything yet. I'm just trying to see whether he's even open to this in the first place.
You need to make a persuasion check with disadvantage because the brother essentially told him in the first round he got wrecked.
That's also fair. That is also fair. So persuasion, what's my bonus to that? Oh, that's a +0 to persuasion, so that's an 11. I understand if you're wary of this.
He says, an interesting proposal, but still too early to trust with this. Participate more, strengthen yourself, and then, if you'd like, we may discuss this again. But if there's anything else you wish to trade or ask, I will do my best to oblige.
All right. I understand completely. It is a bit early, and yes, I had a bit of a rough start there, so yes. That case, I don't think I have too much I can buy at this point, so I'm gonna Roya, anything you wanted to buy here or look for here or say? That's not in character. I did not say that in character, but
So these sticks, the healing sticks, do you have any that do other things than just heal?
There are others, but we provide them for either hunting or for discreetly removing dangerous creatures. And he pulls out a small vial and very distinctive sticks like he handed Neris, but this one is very clearly a dark purple and has a different kind of moss and leaf on it. And he just pulls out, there are 2 vials. This one is for poison, toxins. This here is for immobilization, for rendering them still. This here is for weapons to be doused. And he essentially pulls out a small quiver of arrows. You see them all handmade. These are stone-tipped, you notice. And he just pours in a small bowl. And then he seems to pour in what looks like some very clear water before he essentially dips that purple stick in. And the water starts to darken very quickly. And you see the arrows, less the arrowheads and more the arrows themselves, are slowly starting to take on that purplish tint. Takes roughly 2 to 5 minutes, but eventually all the way about 3 to 4 inches up the wooden shaft of the arrow has now been dyed that specific color. And he just bundles them back up very carefully, back into the quiver, and just essentially seems to wrap them up in, before they seem to be wrapped up the edge with a normal white thread. Now he just wraps it up with a new purple thread.
interesting.
And how much for those?
Which ones? Just pointing to the vials, the stick, or the quiver of arrows.
The arrows.
The arrows. New arrows. You're new. And he turns to his brother and he just gives him a shake of approval. Said, "Good with arrows. So I'll give you quiver of 20 for 30 gold pieces, or if you find something." No, you did not take a piece of the beast when you fought it, did you?
Are we allowed to do that? in this arena?
If you can get to it, depending on how you bring it down. Some leave nothing of it, some leave it in pieces. If next time you fight, if you can drain some of its blood or some of its teeth.
Hold on one moment. Can I root around my leg and see if I have any shark teeth in here?
Make me a survival check with disadvantage.
Rory will watch very confused as she slowly hands over 30 gold.
You now have 20 quote-unquote toxic arrows.
Yeah.
That's a 17.
With the 17, and you roam around, and you almost cut yourself when you feel something there, and you slowly try and tug it out, and you find a single 3-inch long
Ooh, that's a big.
And then you with that you also remind yourself that thing was a fucking land shark, is what the fuck that was. that was a great white on legs, and that is, you're really starting to realize how fucking terrifying this place is going to be if that's one of the normal shit that walks around.
That's the low one. Yeah. Could I get the shield with this? Just kind of sheepishly ask.
And then he just looks back and he just wanders around and he picks up, and this is essentially just you could use this as like a pot lid, and he says, "This one, yes."
Fair enough. Could I get would this be appropriate perhaps for one of the healing sticks? I feel like we should get a better name for that.
That is what the people of the arenas nicknamed them. Just healing sticks.
Healing sticks.
Yeah, because that's exactly what they look like, and he says, you know what? Munch on the shit. If you pop the cork and try to... It's literally just powder and a few other miscellaneous materials that they've dried and, crushed and essentially pounded together into this stick.
I'm almost imagining
a
churro.
Almost, but think more like a pixie stick. They tried to make a pixie stick, but half of it is the powder. The other half is just a bunch of other little candies, little chewables. Could be half a Starburst and something else. It's all the stuff that makes that healing. But instead of diluting it into a soup for you to drink, they just said, you know what? No, just pack it all into a stick. And somehow they make it both edible, and it all just dissolves away and heals you for some reason. And it apparently works out really well.
Yeah. Yeah, alright. So, would a tooth of this size be appropriate for one of those, or would that be asking much?
For one of the sticks, for this, you could take the tooth, and it would cost you 10 gold.
Tooth and 10 gold. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna trade him the tooth and 10 gold for the one of the healing sticks.
All right, and he gives you a healing stick. You now have you can make it right as you wish. It's a potion. 4d6, and half of what you roll becomes temporary hit points after it's used.
Is that half rounded up or half rounded down?
Half rounded up.
Okay. Add that on.
And he also tells you, careful not to break it. It will be used.
I will be cautious of that. That would.
So if you fall and it breaks, it's going to heal you even if there's nothing to heal, and then it's wasted.
That's unfortunate. Luckily, I got a safe old bag of holding to put it in.
Hey, honestly, one of my ideas for one of these ways is it's a piece of armor that has these slipped into its plates for 3 charges. So every time you take a massive attack, one of them will crack and it'll heal that much while you take the damage.
That is something to keep in mind.
I mean, that's one of the no, you haven't met this guy yet, but one of these guys, one of the adventurers for one of the villages is an interesting person.
keep
But
an eye on.
regardless, you guys have made your trade, and this is only taking you like maybe 5-7 minutes at most. You've still got roughly 20 minutes to quote unquote rest up before your next round is officially started.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish
So,
and
Nerys, do you
start
wish
casting
to continue?
healing on the leg. I've got a way of healing myself up a bit on top of the healing stick. I'm gonna save this one for later. I think we should give it at least one more round, see how that goes. I'd, in general, appreciate not taking all the damage, but obviously I think that partially depends on the shark in hand. It may be best, though, in the future, if we do decide not to go with this, to just get a bit more powerful, get a bit more training done, and get some more abilities in our tool belt. But yeah.
Well, I'm glad to see you shaking up like a ragdoll hasn't broken your spirits.
He doesn't, like, nose
Oh,
exhales
Ragdoll.
with annoyed.
That'd be a good stage name. You can tell him that next time we go up.
Alright, that's mine. What's yours gonna be? Or is that just a group name now? It's not a bad one, as far as they go.
Ragdolls?
We could workshop it later on. Ragdoll hand grenade.
What about something cool like the Huntress and the Ragdoll? Yeah?
Yeah, that's cool for you.
And fitting.
Nerys will definitely roll his eyes. Yeah, well, maybe next time you'll be the one getting ragdolled, and then we'll both be nicknamed Ragdoll.
Oh,
Or something.
hopefully not. That's why we're here. But do you know how much time we have left before the next round is supposed to start?
Got a bit more time. Is there some place just selling healing potions? Or like you could see selling healing potions? Like how you would typically know them?
You can check some of the other stands. There are other places that are selling a more.
But maybe, I think it depends. I'm gonna go to State of Roy. I want to try and find a healing potion if I can. Stick works, but I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to overwrite my temporary hit points when I use another one. So, I'm gonna.
That is the unfortunate flaw of the temporary hit point bonus.
Yeah.
No stacky.
Which is definitely great mid-combat to use, but out of combat, I don't want to use one of my spell slots in case we do want to try and take this thing all the way. So I only got 3.
All right, you can find a general who seems to be general wares and ask him.
I'm gonna try and find one of those. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, I cut you off there.
No, you find one.
You got any healing potions? Basic is fine.
Let me look around back. There have been a few people asking. Let's see if we've got any left. And he just scrolls into this back little makeshift tent. Sorry, pal. Looks like we're out of the old basics. I can get you a greater if you need it. We're also out of the superior ones because no one fucking uses those in these little shit tournaments.
You're telling me only the rich assholes go for those. Show off.
You can, he points back to the place you were just at. They have better shit. And half of them will trade for, like, the shit you and I wouldn't think would be as useful, but they find a fucking use for it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be stocking up on that sort of stuff. But I haven't had much.
And he just tells you there's a village. It's the one they're from specifically, like down, going to the west, like just on your way to the theocracy. They're a lot more chill, just because no one's really gone in there to bother them. Just the occasional, the from the theocracy just telling them, "Hey, come join our religion," and shit. You know how they are.
Everybody wants to get on their good side and trade.
Yeah, that's true, but they're not as pushy about it, and because of that, they're a lot more open to the trade. Unlike going to the east side, half of them are at war with the Alliance and all of that. But
And
no,
unfortunately, that tracks to a certain degree.
yeah, but keep it to that side. Their chief, his name means healing river or something when you talk to him. Apparently, he's like the best healer on the island. He's one of the main ones who knows how to make those sticks. But they usually have the best kind of goods. If you can find what they need, you can get yourself almost anything there.
I mentioned something about training outsiders if they're worthy. So if I'm around those parts, I'm starting
They're
to keep
like,
an eye.
you can count them on your hand, the many people who've gone there and have been, he makes a quote, worthy. Even then, you still got to make the things yourself. But it's a way to make them.
Yep. Out of curiosity, what are the greater healing potions going for then around in this?
Greater healing potion here. That'll cost you about 80 gold in this place.
Jeez.
Oh, my friend, I am terribly sorry to tell you, in this arena, everything is more than what it's worth, but it's what you need to make it here.
Oh, I know. It's how they get you.
That's why I'm out of the basics. They know they can just... I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure half of the ones I sold today are being sold to undercut me, and I've already made my money.
Fair enough. Any idea where they would be going for that out of? Not that I'm...
It won't be today. They'll buy them from me like this, then they'll sell them when they're having either one of the main championships, because that's, like always, that's when they'll be the highest, and they'll be willing to pay more for the little ones.
Good point. I'll keep an eye out for that in case I make it there someday, but we'll see about that at this point. Do any other shop stalls here sell the basic healing potions, or do you think that they'd all be out as well?
You'd have to go and find, and I only know of 2 others, and one of them's not here today. The other one is, you got to go around the bend, just down at the edge, just before you exit our little waiting room.
All right. Thank you very much.
Anyone's coming, it's likely going to be her. Quick word of warning, though. Don't mention the Alliance, and you should get along fine.
That's good to know. I will stay off of that topic. Thank you for your time. First time in here, so learning all the intricacies certainly helps. And I'm gonna tip him a silver.
I catch it and give you a nod. Thanks.
All right. I'm gonna quickly try and. I think the mending hopefully helped at least a little bit. It's still probably at least a bit of a hobble.
I mean, it's you're walking normally again. It's just you feel like the individual clink. Like you need when you get a chance, just fine tune this thing so you walk smoother.
Yeah. All right.
This is very much like you fell asleep on your foot and you're just still trying to wake it up. But you're walking normal, but you occasionally get that one odd step.
Yeah. Don't want to leave it this way, but back to fairly normal.
Yeah. And at the edge, just as the man told you, you see another little makeshift tent. This one, however, has no wares visible, just a woman on a table, just candle and what seems to be cards on table that she seems to be going through. seems to be a bit bored.
Excuse me for a minute. Moment of your time.
And you look up and you can see there is almost like a bandana covering her right eye and seems to be pulling her hair back. You notice this woman seems to be a bit of age, skin's very dried out, weathered, but a bit of jewelry on her hands and wrists. And she just looks up at you and asks, "So what can I do?"
I was just wanting to ask. I got recommended from another stall around here. Wanted to check in and see if you had any basic healing potions still in stock.
Must have been before. Let me ask, do you see him go look, or
What was that, sorry?
did you see him go look, or did he just tell you he was?
He said he looked. Well, actually, no, he did look. Didn't I think he did look?
No, you saw him. He went back into that little tent. So
Yeah,
as far as you know, he said he was out.
He looked and told me he was out. Not that that necessarily means anything, but who knows?
I'll let you know this. He's almost always out. Except for the...
He's the one upselling himself. Curious.
Well, if you do stumble across someone telling you they've got a few and they can sell them in a bundle, you might have found his friend. I am unfortunately out. Not because I'm not going to sell them to you, but because someone else already bought them. And I unfortunately only stock the mine. Don't tend to go higher than that.
Makes sense. Depending on what your marketing level, it can be more trouble than it's worth.
Easier to make the small ones. That's something almost everyone likes to have at least one of on them. And they're less stingy with their coin buying one of those than the larger ones thinking, when am I going to use this?
Most people tend to just drink two of them rather than drink one of the larger ones because they figure it's going to be better for their wallet.
It depends on if it's your wallet or your health. If you're going to drink two of them, then you're likely going to need to rest. It's easier just to rest. Let the boss do it for you. If you need to try it again, then downing the two. A larger one, well, depending on who made it in the potency.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, I guess, before I try my luck with him again, what else do you sell here? I see you have cards set up.
I sell a couple of bodies. I trade for things I found and things people wish to be rid of. Sometimes I get something interesting, sometimes I don't. It's less the money for me and more of what I might find.
Curious. I'll keep that service in mind, though I think I'm running low on time, so perhaps another time.
You seem new here. I'm assuming that.
I guess.
Well, good luck. If you need anything over here, maybe I'll have it. If you want to go check again with him, you never know. He might be telling you the truth, or he might just want to sell you the higher end. Regardless, good.
Much appreciated. Take care. And Eris will
waves you off and goes back to. I'm not even sure what game she's playing. She's just flicking a few cards onto the table at once.
What an interesting woman. But no, yeah. Do I have currently enough time to try and haggle with this guy or figure out the truth of the matter? Or is it like 2 minutes to go?
You could try, but you'd be cutting it a little close. You've noticed the little dial, and you've got less than 5 minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna just bite the bullet, and I'm gonna, well, not literally, I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself. And hopefully that'll get me through the round without going down. Actually,
hey, here's hoping.
Might be just better to save that when I'm lower. Like if Roya goes down.
Decisions.
I'll just do it. I already said I would. Alright, that's 8 hit points regained. Back up to a good amount. 24 with 610. Roya, how much health do you have left? You must have taken a lot of damage last round.
So much damage, you don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was fending off. You don't even know how much she was fending off while you were pinned to the ground.
So many ghosts.
You only had the one shark to deal with.
Soon you'll each have more than one.
Soon we will. Did he say 3 or 5? 3 we might
3
okay,
for the
3.
third round. For the second round, you're not entirely sure what you're fighting, but
Probably
you go back up to the announcer. He gives you the old wave in hell, and same as before, or anything new.
Ragdolls?
Roy will shrug. Sure, why not?
Okay, Ragdolls are Hunter and the Inventor.
Or we go with my original idea, combine them both.
No.
Fine, we'll go with the second one.
Alright. I'll share that with the announcer this time.
Okay, just a quick thing. Was that conversation just you two hush whispers before you go to the announcer?
Yes, but probably loud enough that if he had a decent passive perception, he might hear, is what I'd probably say.
All right, and he just asked you, so you'll wish to change it up, keep it the same?
Yeah, change it up. Not Ragdoll. Hunter and the Inventor.
Hunter and the Inventor. Sure.
And hopefully that'll work a bit better.
All right, and you follow the same thing as he introduces you to the crowd as the Hunter and the Inventor. And this time you're surprised you're actually getting a bit more applause than last time, and a few cheers pointing at you specifically you, Neris, just essentially miming. And you can almost hear a few people saying how you think he's going to last this one or not.
Oh man, Neris should have gotten in on that betting. I mean, if he lives, he gets to cash in on the bets, and if he dies, well, he doesn't have to worry about it.
I mean, no one went to check if there were any betting going on in that little, place. No one asked.
That is a good point as well. We should do that for the next round. We'll see.
That is a business. That is both business and the thing one of you has, pretty good experience with. All right, and as he announces the next round, the other side of the door opens, and for a second, you don't see anything. It's just a little dark little hallway, and then you see what looks to be 2 red dots.
Oh
And then
no.
2 more red dots. And then 2 more. And then another 2. And then they slowly come closer, and you guys have seen those bearded goat lizards, right?
Like a kimono dragon, or
Essentially.
oh, cool.
About 4 of those come out, red scaled, the size of a dog.
All right.
And 2 of them are crawling on the wall to the side, while 2 of them are just on the ground. And for a split second, you're wondering if this makes sense, this being the second level, because these things, only 2 of them look like they have like an intent. The 2 on the bottom, one of them is licking the side of its face, getting its eye, and it just has that stupid look in its eye. You're honestly starting to wonder if this one's even aware of what's happening. It's essentially just 2 at the bottom are just completely derpy.
Maybe we're going in descending challenge. Is that?
Who knows?
Maybe.
We'll see. We'll see. Initiative.
But yeah, and right before it starts, someone tosses, and you can tell, Roya, specifically with your perception, this was the announcer, tossed a small bag that unfurled and seemed to be just some dried up, possibly dust or herbs. And as soon as it does, and this smell hits your nose, you're not sure what it is, never smelled it before, but as soon as it hits the ground, all 4 of them immediately perk up and their eyes slitted narrow intensely.
Oh boy.
And the red on their scales actually starts glowing right before some steam just slowly comes off their tails. And there is literal fire on their in their hands and mouths, and these things look like they're about to pounce. And roll me a new initiative.
Fun. $16 this time.
18.
So 18 and what?
16.
18, 16. Okay, that luck continues. These guys all rolled under you guys, so they're all going in a bunch, but you guys are going first.
Okay. Roy, I believe you're up first.
Perfect. Once again, bonus action, I'm gonna use my Slayer's Prey to mark that. This beast. And then I'm gonna do the same thing I did last round and fire off an arrow. I don't trust this. Though I will use sharpshooter again. I'm glad I used sharpshooter. That was a natural 20.
Oh, nice. Sweet.
Hey! Roll that beautiful bean footage and show me what that damage does.
Okay, my damage was not that great.
Fudge the roll. No, I'm kidding.
18.
Oh, and with that, the first of these little guys is... were you aiming across or aiming down with this arrow? Just for dramatic. And it is caught the side of its neck, and you pin it to the ground. You pin it to the side of the wall. And as you see it, and you think it's over, the blood that it seeps is almost boiling. It hits the ground and almost catches fire until then, whoosh. A small fiery explosion just essentially, as its blood gushes and pools, it ignites, and roughly 10 feet in circumference, a gout of fire for this thing essentially crumples to dust. And there's just skeleton and ash remaining.
I don't know.
All right.
Damn. I don't think you're gonna get much off of these guys if we kill them.
Well, if we can at least try. That's your turn, or is there something else?
That's my turn.
All right. Neris. He still has the turret active, which he has mounted. He will place onto his shoulder. And I'm going to start by using a bonus action to attack one of these fire salamanders. Or these salamanders, I'll just call them a salamander.
Fire salamanders works for me.
Does an unnatural 20 hit?
An unnatural 20 does hit. Go ahead and roll that damage.
Sweet. That's, once again, that's 10 damage.
10 damage, and this thing looks hurt. It is looking at you very angrily, but it is still up there, but you see its blood starting to peel from its mouth and the little side of where it was hit. And you notice the fire that it had in its mouth and its hands, it's starting to get bigger.
Ooh.
It's starting to flare out more.
Well, before it gets a chance to do anything and kill us, I'm gonna shoot it with my gun. Same one. Try and get that same one. Does a 16 hit?
Oof. 16 does not.
16 does not hit? Oh, damn.
Now, when you shoot at it and you think it should hit, and with this just strange bit of heat that comes off of it, and you're starting to notice the ground around it is starting to molt up, the shot seems to veer off, and you can see it now as it embeds in the side of the ground. That bullet is still smoking red, like you just pulled that out of the furnace.
I think ranged attacks might be a bit more difficult in this fight. But also, close-up attacks might be more difficult as well. We'll see. With my movement, I guess I'm already at the farthest point away from these things, because we're on the other end, so no movement. So that's my turn.
Is that it? Okay. The two that are on the walls, because you guys just hit the ones that were on the ground. Two on the walls essentially start skittering towards you guys. These guys, while glowing, aren't as vibrantly as the one on the ground that's currently bloodied. And it is very much looking hurt, but it is, reacting to that in a very fiery way. These two essentially come up close, skittering very quickly, and they will both essentially look up, and what looks like fire bursting from their mouths will hawk flaming loogies at both of you.
Cool. Haha, you might actually take damage now.
Oh no, how terrible.
You take 90% of your hit points in one attack, and then you talk with that tone.
Okay, that was a +5. Does a 13 hit you, Roya?
It does not.
It's unfortunate. And for Neris. And these things... Oh, Neris, you notice these things are aiming for Roya first. They seem to be using a bit of pack tactics against her before turning to you because you seem to have the sole attention of the one on the ground.
Interesting.
Yeah, that one is essentially lumbering up to you slowly while these two essentially skitter around the arena itself before taking their shots at Roya. The next one is going to be 22.
On who?
Roya. Like the two on the wall are essentially running around shooting at Roya. The one on the ground is charging you, Neris.
Yeah, that's
Aha!
I'm so happy bro it's gonna take damage. Yes, that is.
You literally... Roya literally laughed at Neris.
She sure did. She sure did. This is payback. It's fine.
This is fun.
Hey, you take 8 fire damage.
Ow.
Yeah, no, rolled max on that die.
Oh no. Ow.
I can't
Right,
believe
and then the one on the bottom there is getting up close and person. And it gets within 10 feet of you, but it's still closing in the 5-foot distance. The heat off this thing is immense. Like, we're talking like a blacksmith, like roaring furnace, and you're not wearing any protective gear.
Yeah, that's not great. I mean, he's got welding gloves, but I don't think that's going to do much good against being thrown into the furnace.
Yeah. And this thing, when it looks like it's about to do the same thing its friends did, you actually see it try, and when it attempts to log, it explodes in fire.
It self-destructed?
Woo,
It tried to do what its friends did, but it went off, and it hit the both of you because no one's moved.
So...
And in that 10 feet, it hits you both, and I need a dex save. You guys are good at those.
We're good at those, yeah.
Yeah, we're good at those.
Ooh, 19.
Oh, fuck.
Not too shabby.
8.
Cool. You, that's 8 fire damage halved if you succeeded, which the DC was 14. Only one of you have made it.
So 4 damage then for Neris?
Yeah, these, when they do self-destruct, these things burst out about 3d6 damage. That's when they apparently either die or when they're very much close to it. You almost killed it that first time.
Nice. So
that's what makes these things a problem. If they get close and they die, it hurts. If you knock them from far away, you're good.
yeah, I gotta do it from a distance, which luckily we are both ranged builds.
Yeah.
But that was all of them. It's your guys' turn. Roya?
Probably trying to pad out whatever bits of my clothing have now been lit on fire. So where are these guys now? There's 2 of them left, correct?
2 of them left. They went up to you. They are 10 feet away, but they are surrounding you.
Okay. I am going to bonus action cast Zephyr Strike. and attack whichever one is closest to me right now.
They are both 10 feet away from you.
I'll attack.
So it's even, so whichever one you like.
Whichever one looks the most aggressive. That's what I'm gonna go with.
The one you can directly see? Sure, it's the one that's on the right side.
That one.
Oh,
I'm gonna shoot an arrow at it. Also sharpshooter.
Zephyr Strike.
roll.
21.
Yeah, that hits.
Perfect.
Roll that damage.
That is 9 piercing, 5 force damage. Oh, 19, sorry.
So 19 total. That
19 piercing, 5 force, so 24 total.
okay, then that is enough. And that thing also blows up. And unfortunately, you are in the 10-foot radius.
I figured, but...
But so's its friend. So
Yeah.
it also takes some fire damage, even though it's resistant.
Am I also in the area? That one?
No, you're in range on the one on the left side. She took out the one on the right side. But it is going to take some of this damage, and it needs to make a dex saving throw along with you for 10 damage if you fail, 5 if you succeed.
What's the DC?
I believe I said it last time. It was 14, I believe.
Oh, okay, good. That's what I got. Oh. 5
Yeah.
damage, and then I am going to use all of my movement to run away as far away from this other guy that's left. I'm going to try to get as far away from this
Well
possible.
done. Well done, well done. He did not make his save, but he's also resistant, so he also takes the 5.
Yeah.
Neris, I believe it's your turn, unless there's anything else you'd like to do.
Right. I think he was asking you that.
Nope, my turn's done.
All right. I'm also
Sounds
gonna run bit away from this thing, trying to get away from its blast radius, and I'm going to wombo combo, as I think it is officially known, gun and force ballista. I'll start with the gun this time.
Did you move first?
Yes. Does that evoke a type of opportunity?
Because you know, as you've seen, it happened 3 times already, and I
Yes.
literally out of game told you, you're in its radius. You weren't in its friend's radius. Please take some steps back.
What was that?
Move out of the way. Get out of the way. If you kill it, it's going to
Oh
explode.
yeah, I'm moving away. I said that. Yeah.
Okay, just double checking. Like, just
Definitely don't want to
shoot it now.
All right.
All right, Wombo Combo, roll me that damage dice. No, roll me the attacks.
Yeah, the attack. Attack is 18. Do that hit?
That does indeed hit. Is this you, or is this the cannon going first?
This is the Neris with the pistol.
All right, pistol first, then the cannon. Show us what's the damage.
Pistol is a, with the bonus, why am I struggling to add? It's an 8. I'm not struggling to add. 8 piercing damage. And that's for the gun. Oh, and for the force ballista. It's very close to a nat 20, but that's a 19 plus 6, 25.
That is it. And you once again noticed that with the first damage, it starts bleeding and it starts getting hotter. And that same little area of just heat around it starts going. But this time that ballista, no ricochet, no off-putting, it just hits straight on true. It hits.
Nice. And that will deal... Ooh, that's some good damage. 14 points of force damage.
And that is enough, and like a beautiful firework, it goes off. And luckily, no one is in its radius this time. But you guys notice there is nothing but charred bone and ash left of these boys. But this round is yours.
Pick up some of those charred bones.
And you are given a nice little round of applause. And some people are saying, damn it, we sure he's going to get wrecked. And some people are jeering and exchanging money towards, I told you they'd fall for it. I didn't think they'd miss the first one blowing up.
I mean, I didn't.
Yeah.
As they're walking away, I don't know how this is going to get received, but I think Neris is going to do this because he's got some of the adrenaline running through his veins still. He's going to give a playful, not any damage or anything, punch over to Roya, like on the shoulder. That one went a lot better, I think.
Ow. Sure. As the smoke comes off of her ashen clothes. Much better.
I was gonna say I'd prestidigitation her up, but I don't have that spell. So I will not say that then.
And right before you're about to exit, the announcer does come up and approach you and asks, all right, so how are you guys enjoying your little taste of the arena so far?
First round could have gone better, but I think that was a step in the right direction.
So far, so good.
All right. And you know your next little bout is going to be 3 of those land jobs, right?
I look over to Roy, it's like, you think we're good for that? Or do you think we're,
How much time do we have between now and our next battle?
The next battle, like you said, it's going to be the 3rd rounds for a few of the others, so those some take a little longer. Totally what? If you can find someone, I'll give you 45 minutes to get them down here. If you need to bolster yourselves up. Crowd seems to like you. Happy crowd means a spending crowd. And that's always good.
how long do we have to find somebody for that?
45 minutes. Got someone in mind, or try and get someone who's already down here, or someone you know can handle themselves? You've seen what one does. You'll have 3 and you know more or less what to expect. They're not complicated creatures. What they did to you is more or less what they do.
Yeah, and I think the goal is to not let that happen. Something I tried, but unfortunately didn't go so well.
Keep on your toes and just be ready.
All right. Let's
see if we could find anyone in 45 minutes.
Yeah, because 2 things is if we can figure out if we could buy from that one merchant the basic potions, I feel like that could be worthwhile. But 80 for a greater healing potion is just not really in the...
Oh, no, it's a straight rip-off and you know it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure he's going to charge quite a bit for even the basic healing potions.
You never asked... I don't think you actually asked what he would charge for a basic healing potion if he had it.
Yeah.
And from what you know, it could go anywhere from 25 to 50 on the normal market, depending on how it is or who's buying.
Yeah. Considering he was charging for 80 on the greater, I'd estimate probably more like the 50, maybe even like 60 or something like that. but that depends.
It's definitely a possibility, but you have to ask him and find out. But yeah, you've got 40. He granted you an extra 45 minutes, essentially telling you he's going to move your match a little bit to the back, give you some time if you want to go and try and find someone else to help you out, or stock up on possible remedies and such, however you wish to do it.
Yeah. Which possibly also could mean finding somebody else who's selling healing potions for cheap outside of the arena.
It's true. With this time, you can, knowing how big this place is, if you wanted to, you could venture a quick trip out, do some business, shopping, talking, recruiting, and then, come back in here.
I don't know how you guys are doing at this point, but I think now might be a good time to stop for the week.
I'm gonna have to jump off here.
Yeah, I feel like we should split up.
It's a good chance. This is essentially an opportunity to see if you guys want to recruit someone, if you can find them. Do you guys even know where she is?
I think she said that she was going to the church, because I think she offered Daenerys. Though depending...
So if you guys would choose to try and convince her to fight with you, who knows if she'd even be up to it or any good at it.
The downside of that is that then we'd have to split our winnings more.
No, it's for person entered. So if she got in there, she'd just have to, you'd have to talk with them, but more likely she'd pay the 20, and then the prize would be bumped up.
Okay. That is important to know. Part of why I think that we should stop.
You'd only have to split it that way if she joined the team but didn't pay the entrance or didn't pay the fee like you guys did.
I mean, at that point, I'd probably, even if she refused to pay the fee, I'd probably just pay it for her, and that way we still just. I mean, at that point, we could just split it 300 gold each, and we both contribute 10 gold more.
And you just ask for her help and don't tell her about the prize money.
Or tell her that it's only 100 gold of prize money per person. But she may, depending on how much time has passed, she might be arriving back at the tavern, the outer tavern, by now. Which might actually work.
A good bit of time has passed, so we'll have to. I guess she'll be the one to let y'all know.
Yeah, we'll have to determine that next session.
All right. How do you guys like the combat so far?
Good. I mean, I don't think it was the plan to have that happen, but that's just kind of how. I mean, literally how the dice rolled.
I left the option there. If anyone wanted to take it, you guys could have come in here as a team. One of you could have tried to solo it. One of you could have tried to make another betting pool like they did in the other one. A little betting business, essentially.
Yeah, that's another thing is that we might... I think we should...
She's definitely going to go and try to find that.
I think we should probably split up. Probably what I'm thinking is you go and find any, good deals on supplies and or... get the betting set up, get some, place some bets on us winning, because hopefully we'd win.
Fingers crossed.
Especially if we get more help. And then I go and try to find Virtue, and or somebody else to help, and maybe somebody that can sell some healing potions on the outside.
You never know.
It's a good opportunity to split the party.
The best. Besides, after this, you've still got technically 2 days before you have to leave on the 3rd.
Yep.
Alright, guys. And that is where we'll end this for today.
Oh, yeah. This has been fun. Thank you for hosting.
Yeah, this is fun.
Hope you guys have a nice...
I hope you guys well, I'll put it this way. These things travel, or most of the things you run into, is just the basic things you'd run into around the island. There are way worse things that you can both try not to run into or go and look for.
That's another way of looking at it. Still just between Sid blowing himself up and Neris being thrashed around. This has just been a little bit of a goofy week between the two of them. In a good way. In a good way.
I was honestly not expecting to hit the first one. There's no way. It's just a normal attack. And then I realized, he has the ability to ragdoll someone if he has them grabbed. Fuck.
Ragdoll, and then that's a natural 20.
Surprise.
I literally had to double check your page. These guys have hit points, right? They can survive this.
Yeah, that's fair. I barely did. And I would have gone down with the Hail of Thorns if it wasn't for the two temporary hit points.
Mm-hmm.
2 temporary hit points from the drink earlier in the day.
Yeah, you're fine.
So at least there's that.
Yeah. Look, I'll say this now. If you guys manage to pull this off, I set this as a milestone just because I expect you guys to do this either later in the team. But if you guys actually manage to survive this, I would definitely consider a level of surviving 5 rounds.
That would be cool. That would be nice.
Because that is in fact an ordeal and something you have to plan for, or you guys aren't making it.
Yeah. Well, I think we don't know what lies beyond round 3 at this point. We have no clue. But I think if we don't have the grapple combo alongside the crit, I think it should be more manageable, even if we're fighting 3 of them. Don't quote me on that.
It would have been a lot better because the first 3 dice I rolled added up to 6. The second 3d6 I rolled was a 5, 5, and a 6. And then the 2d8s was just a 2 and a 1.
Yeah. Could have been a lot better, could have been a lot worse.
It was actually just under the average of what that would have, because more than half of them were well under the 2s, 1s, and 3s.
You should probably get virtue in this. And even if we can't find virtue, if we're not able to find virtue with the next session, I'll probably try.
You can find some people. There are people both drunk and stupid enough to help you, or just want a good fight.
Yeah, I mean, hell, even if they can't fight, it might not be a terrible idea to
Taking
get
them
more
anyways.
people.
Let's go. Get in here.
It might not be a bad idea. Just have more. I mean, even at that point, we just get them, if we can convince them to pay the 20 gold, and then they die, and then we
get more
their winnings.
Yeah.
I mean,
sense.
if you want someone to help you, pretty sure Kirk wouldn't mind lending a hand
I need to
if
go
you
find Kirk.
really needed to help.
But I don't think we can find him within even if he gives us an hour. I don't know if we'd be able to find him
if I
within
go
that.
back and just tell him I'm looking for him again, one of the maids will bring him to me again.
Yeah, but within an hour?
With the rumor spreading about you two right now, yeah.
I think so.
Fair enough. We're getting a name for ourselves. Hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully it's better than Ragdoll.
I mean, right now, you're kind of being called. People are both laughing at you for being Ragdoll, but also for surviving that. That's both giving you a bit of a funny nickname, but also a lot of people are thinking okay, he's not dead. That means he actually can survive this place. So you've got to actually survive with that.
Yeah.
And so, despite being looked at as okay, that was just shit thing to have your first day, you also survived that. So that is also being registered in a lot of people's minds of okay, this guy can actually take hits.
Well, it's if you just take
and you've also survived being blown up. So
yeah, I mean, Yeah, I mean, if you can act like if you just take the monsters down, that's not going to stand out in a lot of people's minds. If you die, you're just kind of tossed to the side, like thrown off to the side. But I guess that's if it sticks out in people's minds.
Small moment of silence. Hey, they tried, folks. They tried.
They tried. On to the next.
But yeah, no, you guys, you survived the explosions. You survived being like reamed and mangled. One of you's got like a literal mini cannon that walks around. People have noticed that too.
Yeah, and that might bring in connections with other people that it could be good or bad. We'll see about that.
I mean, some people may be starting to connect a few dots with like the way you fight. Like, there's a chance he's probably either has connections to or knows some people from that side of the world.
Yep. And hopefully, I mean, we'll see.
All right. Okay, guys.
This has been
a
lot of fun.
I
All right.
gotta jump off.
This was fun, guys. Thank you for playing. Yeah, same.
Have a nice
Good
night,
night.
guys.